My beloved child, listen to me with a quiet heart, for what I am about to place within you is not meant to make you heavier, but to lift you into clarity. There are traces you still carry from old seasons. There were falls. There were days and months you walked through in tears that no one fully understood. But I want you to look at them with a different light. Those marks are not signs of failure, nor are they things you must hide in shame. They are evidence that you were preserved. They speak of how you once passed through places that seemed impossible to pass through, how you were lifted up when you thought you no longer had the strength to stand. Do not despise what I have healed within you, and do not use the past as a garment of ashes to cover your present. What once wounded you no longer has the right to name you. I have called you by a new name, a child beloved, rebuilt, and sent forth in gentleness and wisdom. But listen, my child, true healing always walks together with discernment. Not every place is a place for you to open your heart, and not everyone has the right to step into the deep places I have tenderly cared for within you. Some people are curious, but they do not truly know how to honor. Some want to hear your story as though it were a strange tale, but they do not carry reverence for what I have done. Therefore, learn holy secrecy. Silence is not pretense, and holding something back is not selfishness. There are things I heal first so that you may be free, not so that you will rush to bring them out to prove something to the world. When the time is not ripe, telling the story can become a mirror that makes you look back at the pain more than you look toward grace. But when I open the door, when I place the right person before you, when love within you rises above the need to be understood, then your story will no longer be the sigh of former days, but a lamp for someone who is lost. Remember the story of the man possessed by demons in the region of the Gerasenes, the one who once lived among the tombs, bound with chains, yet whom no one could subdue. On the day my only son came to him, darkness had to leave, and that man sat there in his right mind, clothed, at peace, no longer ruled by what had once controlled him. He wanted to follow the teacher immediately. He wanted to leave the land that had witnessed his shame. But the teacher told him to return home and tell what God had done for him. Do you see? His testimony was not given in panic, nor was it given to draw attention. It was sent to the right place, at the right time, for the right purpose. The place that had once known him in brokenness became the place that saw the power of restoration. I will do the same with you. There are parts of your life you once wanted to erase, but I can turn them into windows through which others will see that no one is too far away to be brought home, and no one is too shattered to be rebuilt in peace. So when you speak, speak from fullness, not from an emptiness that longs to be filled. When you share, let your heart be pure before me. You do not tell your story so people will pity you, nor so they will praise your endurance, nor so you can raise yourself up as a symbol. You tell it so someone may know there is still a way home. You tell it so the one sitting in darkness will understand that dawn has not forgotten them. You tell it so a weary heart can breathe again, so someone condemning themselves can lift their head, so someone who believes they have been abandoned can realize that my hand can still reach them. When your motive has been purified in this way, your story will not drag you back into the old mire. It will become a firm bridge carrying others toward hope. Even so, do not think that healing is passed on only through grand words. Many times I use your daily life itself as a gentle sermon. When you know how to say no while keeping your heart soft, others learn that boundaries are not coldness. When you work diligently but do not allow work to take the throne of your heart, others see a healthy order. When you love your family, serve your loved ones, yet still make room for my presence, others understand that love does not require you to lose yourself. When you are wrong, you apologize quickly, When you drift, you return soon. When you wound someone, you do not hide behind pride, but come forward in humility. These small things, when lived steadily, become a quiet light. Not everyone needs more advice. Many people need to see someone living truthfully, living gently, living with roots, living imperfectly yet faithfully. I want you to understand that your life can become a model of peace. Not the model of someone flawless, but the model of someone who always knows how to return. The truth within you will have more power than a polished outward appearance. Others are not healed by the perfect shell you present. They are encouraged when they see that you, too, were once weak, but did not remain in weakness. Once lost rhythm, but did not abandon the road. Once wounded, yet did not allow pain to turn you bitter. You will not need to display your maturity. Maturity will release its fragrance through the way you answer, the way you remain silent, the way you choose peace instead of winning arguments, the way you lift others up without placing yourself above them. That is the beauty I am weaving within you, a beauty that is not noisy, but enduring. However, my child, hear this reminder as a loving fence. After every time you pour out, return to me. After you have listened to someone cry, after you have strengthened someone weary, after you have opened your heart to encourage, do not continue walking as though your source is infinite within yourself. Return in silence and place every lingering emotion before me. Some sorrows of others will cling to you if you do not know how to hand them back. Some quiet expectations will begin to grow if you do not let me wash your heart clean. Some words of praise, words of lament, requests for help, and forms of dependence can make you forget that you are only the vessel, while I am the water source. Returning to me is not because you are weak. It is the sign of a wise one who knows how to keep themselves in the right flow. When you return, I will remind you of this. You are not anyone's savior. You are only someone I have allowed to stand beside them for one part of the road. You do not carry their destiny on your shoulders. You do not control the outcome. And you are not required to heal every wound you see. Your part is to love rightly. Say what needs to be said. Be present when I lead, and then entrust the rest to me. If you forget this, even good work can exhaust you. But if you remember it, giving will not drain you, it will make you clearer. The more you know how to return to the source, the more you can give without losing your peace. The more you allow me to cleanse what still lingers, the more lightly and clearly you will walk, no longer pulled by the need to please everyone. Therefore, my beloved child, do not fear the marks of what has passed, and do not rush to display them. Let me teach you the timing, the way to speak, the place to speak, and the reason to speak. Let your life become a testimony before your mouth ever opens. Let your gentleness have boundaries, your devotion have rest, your service have return, and your love have order. I am turning what once hurt you into a stream of comfort for others. But I will not allow you to be drained within that very stream. Stay near me, and you will know when to open your heart, when to remain silent, when to lift someone up, and when to step back. And in all things, I will keep you in my peace, so that you are not only one who has been healed, but also a gentle sign that grace is still flowing, still reaching, still rebuilding those who thought they had no hope left. My beloved child, let your heart settle down and hear me teach you about the rhythm of wholeness. Because wholeness is not a mountaintop you touch only on special days. It is the path you walk each morning, the way you breathe, the way you choose, the way you remain with what is good, even when no one is watching. Many times, you think life only has meaning when everything moves quickly. when results are visible, when doors open wide, and when promises are fulfilled before your eyes. But I want you to learn a deeper wisdom. Some of the most precious things are formed in silence, beneath the dark soil, where the seed has not yet broken through, but life is still moving. You do not need to hurry and dig up what I am planting just to check whether it is still alive. What I have placed down in love will not die simply because you cannot yet see it. Trust that there are seasons that seem silent but are actually full of hidden movement. And there are days when you think you are standing still, while I am driving your roots deeper into the source of peace. Therefore, do not force the sowing season to look like the harvest season. When I give you a small beginning, a quiet habit, a humble responsibility, an obedience that no one praises, receive it as a farmer receives a seed. The wise person does not become angry at the seed because it is not yet a sheaf of grain. They bend down, place it into the soil, cover it with patience, water it with faithfulness, and return each day with trust. You also must not despise the small thing simply because it has not yet made a sound. A gentle word, an honest hour of work, a moment when you choose peace instead of reaction, a time of proper rest instead of pushing yourself into exhaustion. These are all seeds. They do not disappear from my sight. They are creating a later season that you cannot yet see today. There will be times when I bring you into a season of waiting, and that season often shakes the human heart the most. For in waiting, you may easily hear the whisper that you have been forgotten, that others are moving far ahead while you are being held back, that if you do not push yourself harder, you will lose your portion. But I say to you, waiting in my hands is not abandonment, it is preparation. The soil needs time to hold the seed. The rain needs the right moment to fall, and the roots need space to go deeper. If the grain springs up too early while its roots are not firm, it will not withstand the wind. I do not delay to make you sad. I adjust the rhythm so you may endure. I do not hold you back to diminish your worth. I place you in the right timing so that when the door opens, you can walk through it without losing your peace. You once feared that if you slowed down, life would leave you behind. I saw that fear when you tried to do more than your strength allowed, when you forced your heart to prove itself, when you looked at others and quietly condemned yourself. But my child, the one who lives in wholeness is not the one who runs the fastest. It is the one who walks the right path, at the right rhythm, under the right guidance. A person running in the wrong direction, no matter how fast they go, only moves farther from where they need to be. But the one who walks with me, even on days that are slow, quiet, or only able to accomplish one small thing, is still being led into the right place. What truly belongs to you will not require you to lose yourself in order to obtain it. What I have prepared will meet you on the road of obedience, not on the road of panic. You do not need to chase every opportunity. You need to remain close enough to hear me show you which door is yours. I want you to remember the story of Ruth, the woman who entered a season of uncertainty with quiet loyalty. She did not see in advance which field would sustain her. She did not know what tomorrow would bring, and she had no radiant promise displayed before her eyes. She simply did what needed to be done in her day. She followed Naomi, went into the field to glean, and bent down to gather the leftover grain with humility and perseverance. Those things seemed small in the eyes of the world, but in my arrangement, each of her steps was moving into a greater story. She did not run after honor. She lived faithfully in the place where I had set her, and the very place that seemed ordinary became a doorway of provision, restoration, and honor. Do you see? Some encounters do not come through haste, but through being in the right place. Some blessings do not find you when you run everywhere in panic, but they find you when you are quietly faithful with what I have entrusted to you today. From this, Learn to see success with new eyes. Success is not only how many tasks you finish, how many people acknowledge you, or how many results can be counted. If you do 10 things in tension, but your heart is disturbed, your words become sharp, your body is worn down, and your presence is divided, then what have you gained except depletion? But if you do one small thing with full attention, with integrity, with peace, with unhurried love, that carries weight before me. I do not measure your life by the noise of productivity, but by faithfulness in each portion entrusted to you. A table set with love, a conversation truly listened to, a work completed without deceit, a decision made from peace, all carry holy value when you do them in my presence. When you change the measure, your life will become lighter without becoming lazy, softer without becoming weak, slower without losing effectiveness. The lightness I give is not the abandonment of responsibility, but the carrying of responsibility in the right way. You will still work, still care, still build, still move forward, but you will no longer be driven from behind by the whip of fear. You will know how to rest without guilt, how to work without worshiping work, how to wait without lowering your worth, and how to receive blessing without pride. That is the maturity I am forming in you, not living according to the fever of the day, but according to the steady flow of grace. And that steady flow will carry you farther than every hurried effort that once made promises to you. So, I am not saying you will never be tired. You are my beloved child, not a stone vessel that cannot crack or need care. There will be days when your heart feels heavy, times when you do what is right and still see no result, moments when you pray and feel as though the sky is silent, times when you wonder whether you are walking correctly. I do not blame you for those moments. I do not leave you when you are weary. What I promise is that you will have a way to return. When you are tired, you can return to me to be lifted. When you doubt, you can return to me to be reminded of what is true. When you lose rhythm, you can return to me so your steps may be adjusted. True endurance is not never being weak. It is knowing the right source to seek when weakness comes. Understand that wholeness does not remove challenges from your life, but it helps you pass through challenges without losing your softness, without losing integrity, without losing the peace I have placed within you. When pressure comes, you do not need to become someone else in order to survive. When others hurry, you do not need to betray my rhythm to prove you are also progressing. When results have not yet come, you do not need to condemn yourself as though delay were a sign of failure. Remain with what I have taught you, sow in faithfulness, wait in trust, harvest in humility, and then sow again with gratitude. Life is not only one season, life is many seasons woven by me into a beautiful story. And in every season, I am still your father, still the one who leads you with love, still the source that helps you stand firm. So today, walk more lightly. Do not force yourself to harvest when I am teaching you to sow. Do not lose heart when I am teaching you to wait. Do not measure your worth by someone else's speed. Do not consider a quiet day useless if within that day you have lived truthfully, loved sincerely, and done what needed to be done with an upright heart. I am building within you an endurance that is not loud, a strength that needs no display, a rhythm of life that can pass through many seasons and still keep its light. Walk with me day by day, and you will see that what comes at the right time is always more beautiful than what comes in haste. What is rightly placed is more enduring than what is grasped. And the one who lives in wholeness will not be left behind, because I am leading them to the right place by the road of peace. My beloved child, draw near in peace and hear me speak about something you often misunderstand, Stopping is not the end, nor is it proof that you are weak. There are times when stopping is the deepest step forward, because when you stop running after the noise outside, you begin to hear clearly what I am placing within. You have grown used to thinking that only when you are constantly moving does life have value. Only when you do more, try harder, and move faster will you avoid falling behind. But I want to remove that yoke from you. Your worth is not found in speed, is not measured by the number of tasks you complete, and does not increase simply because you are always busy. You belong to me before you ever accomplished anything, and you are still loved when you rest in my arms. Stopping at the right time is an act of mature faith, because the one who knows how to stop is the one who trusts that I am still caring for the field, even when their hands have left the plow. I have taught you to walk through many seasons, taught you to rise after moments of weariness, taught you to persevere when the road was long and to remain quiet when no one yet saw the results. But now I also want to teach you another holy art, the art of stopping without self-condemnation. If you only know how to move, but do not know how to stop, what I have sown within you may be scorched by the heat of hurry. A seed needs soil, water, and light, but it also needs quiet time to grow. A heart that is always being rushed will struggle to keep what is deep. A life always stretched tight will struggle to bear lasting fruit. Therefore, when I call you to rest, I am not taking opportunity away from you. I am protecting the precious thing I have placed within you. I am not slowing you down so you will lose your portion. I am slowing you down so you will not lose the very life being formed in you. This may seem paradoxical to you, because the more tasks pile up, the more you think you must try harder. But, my child, a fruitful tree is not always standing in harvest season. After bearing fruit, the tree needs stillness so its sap can gather again. Its roots can deepen, and its branches can recover. If you keep forcing a tree to bear fruit without pause, eventually the branches will dry up and the fruit will lose its sweetness. Your life is the same. I do not want you to produce results in one season only to be depleted in the seasons that follow. I want you to have a rhythm of life that can go far, a flame that can burn steadily, a devotion that does not turn into weariness. Resting in me does not make you less effective. It makes the things you do carry the breath of life, with depth, gentleness, clarity, and the power to lift others without draining you. Remember the story of Elijah after he had stood in a great confrontation on Mount Carmel. He had seen my power revealed, witnessed fire from heaven, and passed through a powerful moment before the people. But immediately afterward, he became weary and afraid, fled into the wilderness, and sat beneath the broom tree in exhaustion. I did not rebuke him for being tired. I did not urge him to rise and preach more, fight more, or prove more. I sent an angel with bread and water, so he could eat, sleep, then eat and sleep again. Do you see? Sometimes the holiest thing I give to those I love is not a new assignment, but a meal, a sleep, and a quiet space for the body to recover and the heart to hear my voice again. After that, I did not come to Elijah in the violent noise, but in a deep, gentle whisper. I will do the same with you. There are instructions you cannot hear in haste, but you will hear them when you know how to stop at the right time. Therefore, do not see the signals in your life as enemies. I have placed within you honest messengers, and they often arrive before crisis does. When your body feels heavy, when your thoughts scatter, when joy becomes dim, when you are quicker to irritation than discernment, when what was once a blessing begins to feel like a burden, stop and read that letter. Do not blame yourself for being tired. Do not be ashamed that you need care. Do not use willpower to silence the signs that are trying to protect you. A small pain can save you from a great collapse if you listen early. A minute of honesty can prevent a season of exhaustion if you are willing to return and adjust. I do not want to lead you by painful collisions. I want to lead you by gentle awareness. When you learn to stop and read those signals, you will realize there are things that need to be reordered. Perhaps you need deeper sleep instead of merely drinking more stimulants so you can keep going. Perhaps you need to reduce a commitment that no longer belongs to this season. Perhaps you need to set a boundary with needs that are constantly pulling you away from peace. Perhaps you need to change the order of your priorities, so what matters most is no longer pushed aside by what feels urgent. Perhaps you need silence before you answer, prayer before you decide, slower steps before you accept more. These adjustments do not make you small, they make you wise. A mature person is not the one who endures until they collapse, but the one who recognizes the small bell before the great storm forms. I want you to understand that holy rest is not an empty void without meaning. Rest in me has the structure of life. Like breathing has an inhale and an exhale. Like the day has morning and night. Like the earth has a season of sowing and a season of lying still. There are very short rests within a day, a deep breath before you respond. A moment of lifting your heart toward me in the middle of work. A minute of silence to release tension from your shoulders. A simple prayer that you are here and I am here too. Do not despise those small pauses. They are like drops of water falling steadily on dry ground. They keep you from living by reflex. They return you to presence, so you are not swept away by the hurried rhythm of everyone around you. Then there are also regular rests during the week, where you reset the axis of your life. A day, or part of a day, when you do not allow work to rule the inner voice. You stop proving. You stop chasing the unfinished list. You allow yourself to be present with me, with those you love, and with the very breath of ordinary life. In that rest, you remember that the world does not collapse when you are not controlling everything. You recognize that I am still guarding what your hands do not touch. You learn again the gentle humility that you are the steward of the portion I have given, not the center, holding all things together. When that truth sinks into you, the burden will become lighter, and work afterward will return to its proper place. There are also seasons when you need to stop for longer, not because you have lost your way, but because I want to examine your motives, renew your vision, and heal the weariness that has silently accumulated. There are things you have carried for so long that you thought they were normal. There are pressures you have grown so used to that you no longer name them. There are expectations from others that have become mixed with my calling, causing you to no longer distinguish clearly. When I invite you into a deeper silence, do not be afraid. I am not taking you there to remove your fire, but to cleanse from that flame the unnecessary smoke. I will ask you with love, what are you doing because you are being led? And what are you doing because you fear being left behind? What comes from love? And what comes from the need to be recognized? What still carries life? And what is already past its season, though you continue holding it out of habit? If you keep these layers of rest, you will not need to live by sudden hard breaking. You will not have to wait until you are exhausted before you stop, nor wait until joy has gone out before you seek the source again, nor wait until your words become sharp before you realize you are empty. You will walk more steadily, more softly, more brightly. You will know when to move forward, when to slow down, when to speak, when to be silent, when to receive more, and when to release some things. This rhythm does not come from fear, it comes from closeness with me. When you are near me, you will not need crisis to wake you up. You will hear the gentle reminder before life becomes heavy. Therefore, my beloved child, today, if I tell you to stop, I do not understand it as an order to retreat. It is an invitation to return to the source. Stop to remember that I am still working. Stop to receive peace again. Stop to adjust your rhythm before hurry burns the young and precious things within you. Stop so the flame may be kept, not flared up by strong winds and then extinguished. You were not created to always be on in tension. You were created to shine steadily in my presence. Trust that when you rest at the right time, I am still preparing the way. When you release what you cannot control, I do not release it. When you lay your head down in peace, I am still watching. And when you return after holy rest, you will not return from depletion, but from fullness, carrying a gentle strength, a new clarity, and a rhythm of life preserved in my love. Rest, my beloved child, but do not understand rest as abandoning the mission. Rest is so you can walk rightly. Rest is so your actions do not come from panic, but from fullness in me. Rest is so your words do not burst out of weariness, but flow from clarity. Rest is so your love does not become exhaustion. Your service does not become a burden, and your devotion does not turn into chains. When you rest rightly, you do not leave the path. You are placed back on the path with a gentler strength. I do not need you to rush forward like a flame swept by the wind. I want you to burn steadily like a lamp, carefully supplied with oil through the night. Keep your freedom through order. Do not let things that seem small be treated lightly, because it is the small things that keep life from cracking. A word of gratitude in the morning, a quiet space before making a decision, a boundary spoken in love, a refusal of something that does not belong to this season, a choice of honesty when no one is checking, a moment of returning to me in the middle of a busy day. These things are foundation stones. The world often only sees the building when it rises high, but I see the foundation, and I say to you, a foundation laid in peace, humility, and faithfulness will withstand the seasons of strong winds. Keep your joy through gratitude. Joy is not nourished only by great things, but by the ability to recognize grace in ordinary things. A day with breath still in your lungs, a simple meal, a loved one still by your side, work done with integrity, a quiet afternoon, an opportunity to correct a mistake, a chance to begin again. These are all signs that I am still caring for you. Gratitude does not deny difficulty. Gratitude opens your eyes to see that difficulty is not the whole story. When you are grateful, you are not easily led by imagined lack. When you are grateful, what you have becomes enough for you to continue walking in peace and keep your destiny through quiet faithfulness. Not everything I build within you needs applause. Not every right step is recognized immediately. There are seasons when I hide you, so I may deepen you. Seasons when I bring you forth, so I may shine through you. And seasons when I simply tell you to do today's work with an upright heart. Do not despise the hidden place. The most enduring things are often prepared where few people can see. Keep sowing what is good. Keep your heart soft. Walk in the right rhythm. Correct yourself quickly. Return often. Love with order. And rest in trust. I am weaving these things into a story wider than what your eyes can measure today. Therefore, my child, this is not an ending. This is the stable foundation from which you will continue to build. The journey does not close like a door being shut. It settles like a piece of land that has been leveled, watered, and made ready for a new season. From this foundation, you will build things more lasting, brighter, and more enduring, because you no longer build from fear but from peace. No longer build to prove yourself but from belonging. No longer build in disorder but in order. Go, but go with a soft heart. Live, but live in the light. Work, but work from rest. Love, but love from an unfailing source. I go with you today. I will be with you tomorrow. And in every step after this, my light will still be there, not distant, not extinguished, not leaving, guiding you with gentleness and keeping you in my enduring love.